Hi everybody. Welcome to our podcast, which is also supported by slides on YouTube this week. And we're operating this video and podcast in association with our good friends and colleagues at the Port Solent Wellness and Therapy Centre, a place where you can actually acquire some of the techniques, online resources and physical products that we're going to be talking about today. And I wanted in these difficult times to be able to talk about something we can all do, whether we're anxious and worried about the future or whether we're quite relaxed and chilled out. We need to think about boosting our immunity. The best way to be able to look after our own mental and physical well-being is to build our own physical immunity. And that's what today's podcast and broadcast is all about. And some details in terms of content for you. If you want to get hold of our friends at Port Solent Wellness and Therapy Centre, it's Facebook Port Solent WTC or Port Solent WTC.com, and of course ourselves as usual at QEDOD.com and on LinkedIn at QEOD. And so without further ado, let's think about immunity. And immunity for me is represented by four main areas: food, lifestyle, movement or exercise, and sort of relevant therapies. And over the next two series, today and another broadcast next week, we'll be talking about each of those. But today we're going to be focused on foods because, of course, that's such a huge sort of area. And it's important to understand that immunity system is a massively complex thing. We can summarize it as being an innate or acquired response. The innate is inheritance and judges an external friend from foe. It flushes or burns out invaders, and this can obviously make us feel sort of feverish or snotty, but generally under the weather. If you have an acquired response, this is more like the body's SWAT team, where when invaders have been specifically recognized or recognized again, and then that part of the immune system identifies the cells that can kill the threat and send them into battle. So there's sort of a known and unknown threat response. And depending on where the threat comes from depends on the response of the immune system. So if it's a threat that affects your lungs, you get respiratory responses, and if it's something that you swallow goes at your stomach, that's where you get diarrhea. And snot and such like is about defending the nasal passages. So whilst we like to think that we're suffering, actually this is a sign that our immune system's working. And part of our immune system, of course, is a big part is the lymphatic system. It's a sort of network of nodes and vessels, tubes filled with a clear fluid called lymph, which contains tissue fluid, waste products, and immune system cells. And this whole system is the system that is strengthened by immunity drugs that allow your immunity system to kick into gear and to fight diseases, for things like cancer and such like. And they basically depend on things like white blood cells, which are made in lymph organs, like the spleen or thymus, and in the bone marrow. And we also have general antibodies, which are part of the system, and T cells, which are sort of the foot soldiers that come marching out to protect us. And we have to recognize that part of what the immune system does is to create inflammation in the system. It makes things work. And one of the things that people talk about is that let's make our immune system as productive as possible. But for some people, they have overactive symptoms. So, for example, if you have an allergen, all that is that your immune system is either over-triggered or over-recognizing threats, which create a response. So some people who have asthma, eczema, hay fever, for example, a lot of us have that, or even food allergies have that situation. And what you're always trying to do is to look after yourself and recognize that your immune system has to work on a regular basis. In fact, some people used to swear by this idea that we used to have 2 colds a year to test the immune system, those T4 cells coming out and actually, working. And no surprise to see that the usual enemies of immunity are smoking, excessive drinking of alcohol in particular, poor sleep, too much stress, obviously exposure to too many infections, but also poor gut health and diet. And it's the microbiome we have in our system is really important to protect us from decreases in our immunity. So it's important that we focus on some of those things. And so as you can imagine, building balance, diet, exercise, stress management, lifestyle management, and actually, as I say, building gut health and creating a complexity of diet to help you. If you think about it, if a pathogen breaches your defenses, what you have is all these things, all these germs, all these bacteria springing to your defense, white blood cells, gut flora working, and to recognize your gut flora, your biome, the microbes, the bacteria in your body need to be looked after. They need to be stimulated, and making sure that you have the most conducive immunity systems going. So sometimes people take extra vitamins. These can be useful. Supplements and minerals can be useful. Some, of course, basically once you reach your daily intake, just are ejected from your system through your normal extraction processes, like on the toilet and such like. So you just have to recognize that you don't have to overdo the vitamins, particularly vitamin C, because once you can't metabolize it and hang on to it. So basically it just gets flushed out. So watch where you're not over-egging the vitamins. Fermentation of foods are really important. Kefir yogurt, pickles, sauerkraut, kimchi. Those sorts of delicacies are now really fashionable because of our increasing knowledge of the microbiome, making sure it's very rich, very able to deal with the things which are thrown at it. And basically it's about making sure that things that can get into your microbiome can be fixed because it has the variety to do something with it. Probiotics are all fashionable, and we have to watch that actually we're looking and dealing with live bacteria rather than just some of these fashionable sugar drinks that call themselves being probiotics. One of the things that we'll talk about later is our daily uplifter, which is full of real probiotics. But let's start at the easy bit, and let's start thinking about the rainbow of food. And key to all of us, and I think none of us would be surprised, is the arrival of fruits on the scene. Things to have. Citrus fruits are really great because they have tons of vitamin C in them, but also other vitamins as well. And whilst you can have supplements, there is nothing better than a love of food and a curiosity about food and a desire to actually create variety. Creating this rainbow on your plate is really, really important. And basically making sure that all these have vitamin C in them. You can cook them, you can have them raw. Raw is usually best, with skins on where appropriate. Don't eat banana skins, obviously, but making sure that you can do those sorts of things. Blueberries have particularly antioxidant properties and can link directly to the immune system. And they have anthocyanin, which is an antioxidant, which actually does link their flavonoids to part of the respiratory tract's immune defense system. So that might be interesting. So basically, researchers found that people who ate foods rich in flavonoids were less likely to get an upper respiratory tract infection or common cold than those that did not. And that might be useful at the moment. Papaya is another fruit loaded with vitamin C. Tricky to find, more sugary than some, but it also has a digestive enzyme in it called papain that has anti-inflammatory effects. And decent amounts of potassium, B vitamins and folate, all of which are good for you. Papaya, great. And kiwi, great. Tons of essential nutrients, including that folate, potassium, vitamin K, again, and vitamin C. And for some people, they swear by elderberries, and it's a shrub that's been used medicinally for ages. Extracts of elderberry often used with antiviral, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory drugs and have reported properties from extracts, and also high in flavonoids because it reduces swelling in the mucous membranes. You have to be careful with elderberries that actually it can react negatively with certain prescribed medicines, so check your doctor before going too wild. But obviously making sure that anything sensibly taken should be okay. Don't go chugging loads and loads and loads of elderberries every day. Acai or acai berry is black purple fruit from the palm tree in Brazil, and very high in anthocyanins, which are flavonoid molecules, which have very potent antioxidants again. And these also combat oxidative stress in the body by mopping up free radicals. And we want to sort of contain free radicals so that they do cellular damage. And so basically lots and lots of good information, lots and lots of good evidence of the acai berry being good for you. So any sort of supplement where it has acai in it would be good. I'm sorry if you could say acai, arakai, it depends on where you come from, whichever you fancy. Watermelons, I was surprised to find, is a useful thing. One serving of watermelon has 270 mg of potassium and 30% of your daily value of vitamin A. And it's sort of lower in calories, particularly watermelon. It gets some B6 and other useful bits and pieces. So why not do something with watermelon? And actually, watermelon slices are commonplace, but you can shove it on fruit. Shove it on a fruit salad. Have a tall glass of watermelon lemonade, homemade, no sugar. Add cheese to it, or freeze it and have it as a sorbet. And add it with ginger as well, as very, very nice. Some people swear by pomegranate as well. And there's a load of interesting things around pomegranates inhibiting the growth of harmful types of bacteria, including E. coli, Salmonella, Yersinia, Listeria, Clostridium, and blah, 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 blah. Tons of stuff. Does have antiviral properties against the flu, herpes, and other viruses. But it also... it's been proven to extract pomegranate extracts create the growth of beneficial gut flora that protects the immune system as well. And there's a couple of Latin names which might fox the most erudite amongst us, and I'm certainly not that. But a really great thing to look at, if for vitamin C, is to look at red peppers. Red bell peppers in particular. Ounce for ounce, pound for pound, red peppers contain twice as much vitamin C as citrus, and also a source of beta carotene, which boosts the immune system. But the thing about it is that because the red peppers are low in sugar or fructose, they're a good source of vitamin C for people who have challenges so for example, diabetics and people who are avoiding too much of that. Why not stir fry them, roast them, steam and boil them? But raw is good as well. Now, of course, veggies we've known for years. There's something really peculiar, isn't it? That something the better there is for your taste, the worse it is. And broccoli is supercharged with vitamins and minerals, A, C, and E vitamins, antioxidants, fibre. One of the best things you can put on the table, and one of the dullest as well, in my view. But it's really good for you. 1 cup of broccoli provides as much vitamin C as an orange, but without the sugars. High in beta carotene, potassium, magnesium, zinc and iron. Zinc's really important, and we'll talk about later. And supplies an array of B vitamins, 1, 2, 3, and 6. Oh my goodness. Why is it so good for you? Because it contains choline, which is good for the gut. And it's sort of the same family as sort of sprouts and kale. You can do groovy things with broccoli. You can put it in soup. You can casserole it. You can put it in salad. You can slather it in lemon. You can roast it. You can do all sorts of things with it. Broccoli is broccoli, I'm afraid. Put it on your plate, eat it, and just imagine your halo shining is my advice. Yes, sweet potatoes, however, are a different thing. Tons of vitamin A, low calories, cholesterol-free, fat-free, all the grooviness that you can possibly have, and rich in fibre too, and rich in beta carotene as well, which is the thing that actually gives the sweet potatoes the orange colour, and a source of vitamin A, which gives you some protection against skin damage. And feel free. Interesting thing about sweet potatoes, roasted are actually pretty lovely. And if you have a real potato lover in your family and a sweet potato lover, you can roast them side by side. I was really surprised about the mania around mushrooms. I didn't realise that button mushrooms were so high in selenium and B vitamins like riboflavin and niacin, which are really, really good for you. And apparently mushrooms synthesize vitamin D when they're exposed to ultraviolet light. In fact, they may be the only plant source of vitamin D, which is, there's a big story about vitamin D affecting the immune system positively. So have a think about that. Saute, grilling, always groovy. Shove them in salads, put them in lasagna, portobello mushroom tops and veggie burgers. I've seen veggie burgers, veggie steaks, which are really just mushrooms. Mushrooms are good, and why not with some broccoli and sweet potatoes alongside? Oh my goodness! Okay, I can almost smell the oven firing up. Spinach is great. Not that horrible gooey spinach that's been roasted for 6 hours and it turns all slimy. Have it raw if you possibly can, or really just cooked for a few seconds so it just begins to break down. Nutrients in spinach boost immune function, provide the body with necessary nutrients for cell division and DNA repair. Sounds good? Got to be worth doing it. And those lovely flavonoids, carotenoids, vitamin C and A, part of the billing. We all know spinach is good for us, so think of innovative ways of doing something with this. We also know garlic's good for us. It's really brilliant. Add garlic to everything, basically. And if you're all eating garlic, it doesn't matter that you all smell a bit garlicky. Hey, why not? It has antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal properties. Bulbs, according to research, are rich in antioxidants that quench free radicals again, that play a role in Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, cancers, and other conditions. Your diet can really help you with certain big diseases in the world. So, hey, why not? Why not do something with it? And why not incorporate ginger more into your diet as well? Again, ginger is really great for you. Again, quenching free radicals, helping guard against arthritis, cancer, neurodegenerative disorders, and many other conditions. Grate it, steep it in hot water to make ginger tea. Yum! I do like ginger myself, actually. I have it with a smoothie in the morning, and it really helps with the decreasing of inflammation, which is great for sore throats, could be useful, and other inflammatory illnesses. Also decreases nausea. You can have a sweet version if you want in puddings, but basically people that have a lot of ginger apparently have increases the number of T cells, your army cells that attack naughtiness. Now, people that add ginger to hot chocolate, yeah, imagine that. Ginger muffins. Oh, hot ginger chicken wings. Why not? So let's get on to the other category now. People swear by yogurt and kefir. Kefir is fermented yogurt in a way. But low-fat yogurt can be really good for you. It's got all the protein in, of course. It has often supplemented with vitamin B12, vitamin B2, which is riboflavin. It's often rich in probiotics if it's got a live culture, like a Greek yogurt or something along those lines. It helps with gut flora, which particularly those dealing with the digestion, detoxification, immune function. And probiotics in yogurts can help with reducing eczema and such like. Again, look for the live and active cultures, and get plain yogurts rather than pre-flavored or any with sugar in. You can sweeten yogurt yourself with healthy fruits. Why not pop some ginger or blueberries in? Yum! Or even a bit of cucumber salad with them. Use it instead of butter in some cases, or instead of cream. Almonds and seeds are great for you. It's a fat. They have a fat-soluble vitamin in it called vitamin E, which are really, really good for you. Careful though, because they have fiber and manganese in it, but they can be quite fattening. So you just have to watch that. But almonds are really good for you, as are sunflower seeds. Again, more vitamin E, phosphorus, magnesium, B6. And such like, and really great. And also other foods with high vitamin E include avocados, dark leafy greens. So you can actually toast almonds and seeds and put them on other foods. I'm a great fan of green tea, and green tea does have caffeine in it, but it also has polyphenols and flavonoids. So again, it's sort of a superfood, green tea. It favorably affects blood lipids, increasing good HDL cholesterol and decreasing LDL bad cholesterol. And so, that's a really good piece of news for you, because it can actually directly enhance immune function. And because you're removing milk from your diet, you're reducing sort of negative dairy and sort of the sugars from milk as well. It's a good source of the amino acid L-theanine, which may aid in the production of germ-fighting compounds in your T cells. Again, feeding that army of yours up. And whilst it does have caffeine, it doesn't have it as much as other drinks. You might want to get real green tea rather than just the stuff in the supermarket with flavors in. But that doesn't harm either. Poultry, lots of groovy stuff. We also used to say poultry in particular. Turkey has lots of serotonin in it. Vitamin B6 is really great for you. Low fat, obviously. Excellent news. Behind vitamin B6, I think is said, and it's has all sorts of really lovely stuff. Boil it. Boil the stock and broth, make soup out of it. Really groovy. And shellfish is really good. Obviously, oily fish and oysters are good for you. And the reason for shellfish, poultry, oily fish and oysters is that it has lots of zinc in it. And zinc's really great because that having more zinc allows you to actually ingest more iron, so that in helps your overall well-being and such like. Not too much though. You only need 11 milligrams of zinc a day, and for women 8 milligrams. But actually, it's pretty hard to get up there. And of course, all these things have omega-3 in it, which is really great in terms of bone and arthritis and such like. And of course, it's reducing the amount of omega-9s, which come from more vegetable type things. And oysters. Not that I like them, but they're really great for selenium, iron, vitamin C and such like. I'd rather get some of those things personally from Brazil nuts, but there you go. Some people like an oyster. If you're feeling that you need a night in and you're going to do something really groovy, knock some oysters together. Why not? What about oysters Rockefeller, oyster stew, scallops or grilled oysters? Blah. There you go. And going back to our fermented foods, we talked a little bit about kefir, but it's just a fermented drink. It's like a yogurt again, so you get the benefits of yogurt and such like. And there's evidence in animals that kefir is really positive for fighting and reducing inflammation, increasing antioxidant activity, and fighting bacteria. But hey, why not? We're animals, aren't we? Why not go for it? Same with miso soup. Salty paste made from fermented soybeans. It's rich in probiotics, boosts the immune system, beneficial for the gastrointestinal health, and a lack of beneficial bacteria and imbalance of bacteria in the GI tract is associated with a variety of medical conditions, including IBS, food allergies, gastroenteritis, inflammatory bowel disease. And so miso soup seems a really simple way to actually start to really, really, really get the beneficial microorganisms in these soups and kefirs and other fermented foods to get them into your GI tract, get them into your microbiome, start building those other things. Supplements. Turmeric's great. It's in the curries. It's bright yellow. That bitter taste it has is the key that makes things make it great. It's the same thing that you have in almonds. Sorry, not almonds. What they're called, walnuts. The bitterness in food is really great. It's in tons of different cooking things. Curcumin, which it has, is an antioxidant and has been linked with anti-inflammatory effects. And turmeric and cinnamon both help symptoms of cold. I mix it with raw honey, and you're going to get a groovy drink there. Some people swear by wheat germ, the innermost part of a wheat kernel, tons of it, B vitamin, zinc and vitamin E. Sprinkle it on top of that lovely yogurt, make it a shake, add your blueberries. You can think creatively about these sorts of things, all normal sorts of bits and pieces to do. One of the products that we sell is something called the Daily Uplifter. It's something we've trialed from the States. It's a really brilliant package of foods. You basically one packet gives you 14 servings, so 2 packets last you a month. You add it to your breakfast cereals, and it really gives you everything you need to actually sustain gut health. Now, acai berries and such like are all in it. Really well recommended. Ours are our super greens, which are again another sprinkle that you can put on food. So if you're not getting enough of those green vegetables, maybe you don't like the taste and maybe just not interested in the cooking side, you can have a yogurt and such like and mix things together, or put it in your porridge in the morning, or however else you might want to do. And the good news for some people, dark chocolate. Hooray! It has an antioxidant in it called theobromine, which, let's listen to this, may help to boost the immune system by protecting the body's cells from free radicals. This doesn't mean you should be eating 2 million tons of dark chocolate, but it means that dark chocolate could be on the menu. Not the nasty sort of low-grade Cadbury's buttons and such like, but proper high cocoa dark chocolate. So, food can be fun. How can we help? We can produce the Daily Uplifter, which is great. The Super Greens, the great health food supplements. We've got all sorts of other supplements like turmeric. We have many other bits and pieces that our colleagues at the Port Solent Wellness Centre can sort out for you. Go to portsolentwtc.com have a look at what they have. They also have CBD, which is a cannabinoid oil, which allows you to maybe control some of the stress effects in your lives. Why not have a try at that? Why not get yourself a better night's sleep? If you're sleeping better, then that helps your immune system. Hypnotherapy can affect positively the effects of anxiety and stress. That again is helping your immune system. And coaching, something that we do here a lot in QED, is all about this idea of getting a sense of purpose, getting back a sense of control in your life, really having thinking strategies to allow you to make a difference in your life. So here we're ready to help you. And then our next episode is all the non-food related things we can help. We'll be talking about anxiety and stress and all those things we just chatted about now as sort of a quick guide, and some unusual things, maybe a bit alternative. But there you go. Again, you can get hold of us at qedod.com. There'll be a special nutrition and immunity download offer you can have at qedod.com/immunity. Where you can get access to an ebook and all sorts of bits and pieces. And you can go to paulsolentwtc.com for materials and more information. So until next week, until I get the chance to talk to you again, it's been a joy to talk, a joy to hopefully add some value. And if you have any more questions, you can contact me at qedod.com/contact. Until the next time, take care.